Somebody in the comments, or maybe it was in our Patreon, mentioned that we should talk about something from the archives. And so I was looking at archive number 2, and I saw the song You Might Recall. And so I played it and listened to it, which it's interesting. B-sides, no matter what, a B-side is given like a back seat in my brain. I don't treat it with as much respect as I do a song that made it onto the album proper or into the canon. Now, this song was also on 3 Sides Live. It was on the 4th side, I think, right? In fact, if you follow along with my record shopping videos, that I've been looking for that like special release. I think it's a European release where the 4th side isn't these B-sides, but instead it's some of the older songs live. And so I don't have a copy of that, and I've been looking for it all over, and I can't find it here in North America. Anyway, put that aside. But you Might Recall is also on there along with Paperlate. And so this is a B-side from Abacab. And what's so interesting about this tune is that it's really beautiful. It's really straightforward. And today I was listening to it as if it were an album track. And I really, really like it. I actually think like it's kind of like a deep cut, but it deserves to be on the album. It's not catchy, but it's something that you would be fine listening to a lot because it's not catchy. It's not an earworm. I think there are a lot of those types of tracks on Duke. I think it's a really great tune. The first thing we have is this hook, right? The doom, doom, doom. Doom, 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 which is like there's some keys going on and there's some kind of percussive things. Maybe it's like a marimba or something, or what do you call those metal ones? Or a children's toy. I don't know. I just think like from like, the kind of like early 80s pop genesis that's kind of like a little bit more accepted. Like Turn It On Again, or Man of Our Times, or even Abacab, the song. I feel like this falls into that realm. Now, apparently there's a rumor that this song was discarded for Whodunit, and they actually picked Whodunit. And I think that speaks to the bigger objective of Abacab, that the concept was, let's do something really weird. Let's do something we haven't done before. And this song would actually fit fine on Duke. This song would fit amongst Man of Our Times, Alone Tonight, Misunderstanding. So maybe that's why they opted not to include it on Abacab, because Whodunit was weirder. And I actually respect them for that. I think this song is way better than Whodunit, but Whodunit is so bizarre and so polarizing. I mean, it's not really polarizing, like most people agree on it, but I like that Abacab is weird. And I think that's why they didn't include it on Abacab, is because it's not a weird song. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty even. It's not like Keep It Dark. It's not like Dodo. It's not even like the title track of Abacab. And it's certainly nothing like Whodunit. So I think Abacab was kept weird by keeping this song off and by keeping Paperlate off too. There's a lot of like hints of Hello, I Must Be Going in this song as well, especially that Motown drum fill is played like 2 or 3 times in this song. So the drumming is really reminiscent of what Phil would do in Hello. In fact, I am really happy that there aren't any horns in this song, even though there's horns in Paperlate, because I feel like it would have made it too much of a Phil sounding song. It's a real shame it didn't make it on a record. I really think I think it could have been on Abacab if they made it weirder. You have this hook that reoccurs. It's pretty straightforward in the drum section, although there's some some weird toms happening later in the song. I haven't done a video on the best B-sides, like the songs that weren't on albums, but were, offshoots. I should do that because honestly, like the more I listen to this, the more I think it might be one of my favorites. It's a really good song. The jam out at the end is really beautiful too. And it's a long song, it's 5.5 minutes. It could have fit on We Can't Dance too. It kind of has a bit of that vibe too. Man, what a bummer. It was also on 3x3. I don't have a copy of 3x3. I'm in no rush to get it just based on the songs. It makes me think too about how much I really like this era of early 80s, like 80, 81, 82, because it's before we would get the sound that has now become synonymous with the 80s, the squishy snares, the 808s and the Juno synthesizers and the Prophet synths and like the brash synth sounds and Moogs and stuff, all that stuff that has been synonymous, even the way that guitars are used in the 80s, that kind of like Wham and No Jacket Required sound happens a little later, like in the back half of the 80s. And so it's a little bit more of a wild, wild west when it comes to the sounds of the late 70s, but specifically these early 80s. That's one of the reasons, too, why I like Duke, is and even Abacab in a way, It's not really tied to a certain sound. It doesn't sound like what the 70s are known for, and it doesn't necessarily sound like what the 80s would become known for. So it fits in this nice little no man's land, and I really like it. I love this tune. You got to tell me what you think about this tune. I asked some of our patrons. By the way, you got to become a patron. Hop over. But I asked some of them what they thought about this. Nobody got back to me. Maybe I didn't give enough time. Maybe it's just too much of a nondescript song. You know, maybe people just don't have any space in their mind for it. We're going to do a list of the top 10 best throwaway tracks. And so if you want to have your input in that, then come over into our Patreon and give me some of your thoughts on what you think are some of the best B-sides. Another question I have, somebody will let me know, but was this a B-side on any of the 12-inch singles? Like, I have a copy of Keep It Dark, and it's not on that. I don't have a copy of Abacab. I don't have a copy of Man on the Corner, and I don't have a copy of No Reply at All. Are there, I don't know. So maybe it was like on a B-side of one of those 12 inches or the 7 inches. I can't recall. So you might recall. You let me know. Anyway, let me know what you think about this song. Let me know what I missed. There's some other interesting trivia about this song. Have they ever played it live? I've never heard it live. But it's really cool. It appears on the archive, it appears on 3 Sides Live, and it appears on 3x3. So it's a great tune. I want to listen to it more. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button for exclusive videos, behind-the-scenes content, and to have your say on future topics before I film. Have a look at our Patreon page. Thanks for watching.